POW in Afghanistan, Bo Bergdahl, has been released, part of a 5-for-1 prisoner swap after 5 years in captivity. With me now, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer. Good evening, Colonel. 5-for-1, is that a good deal?
I don't think it's a good deal in Vegas. We've lost all leverage, and one of the things that we're talking about, the administration has been talking about, Judge, is trying to use these five, the Gitmo 5, as leverage to open the negotiations with the Taliban to end the war. Two reasons that's wrong. First, we've given up at least two of these Taliban are actually Al-Qaeda dual-hatted, which means they're terrorists. Secondly, because we gave all five away, we literally have no leverage left. So when you put that together with the fact that there were still other options on the table. There was other ways to negotiate this. There was other ways. There was other military options.
Colonel, what other options?
Well, one of the things noted by Jennifer is that he was actually held by the Haqqani network in Pakistan. Pakistan had a lot bigger role in this than I think the U.S. government's willing to admit. That leads me to the next option, which is military. One of the things I've heard from my sources is that the White House was fearful of a military option. We could have done a similar raid to get him as we did with bin Laden. The problem was you have to go into Pakistan. So that's why that option was never seriously considered. So when you look at this,
we did it with bin Laden. So why wouldn't we consider it? Why would we give away 5 Gitmo detainees for 1 American?
Because it's sloppy thinking. If you recall, Woodrow Wilson brought the World War I to what I would a responsible end, to quote President Obama. But what we're doing here, Judge, is actually laying the groundwork, much like Woodrow Wilson did, to lead into World War II. We're not actually supporting the Afghan government. These 5 individuals will help undermine the very central government President Obama said he's trying to help. And then also, more importantly, this is I don't trust Qatar, where these prisoners have been released to. The chances are very good, even if they're not back in the field commanding troops. This is a propaganda victory for the Taliban. This will strengthen them, and these 5 individuals can actually do things from Qatar to help the effort there against us.
Wait a minute. There's no question this is a victory for the Taliban. And by the way, I thought we didn't negotiate with the enemy, but apparently we do. But more importantly, when we release these 5 to Qatar, what makes us think they're staying there? These people are determined to kill Americans.
And that's my point. The government of Qatar has said we will guarantee that they will not leave Qatar. We'll see.
How can they do that?
With that said, I don't know. They said they will, quote unquote, restrict their travel, which means, to me, Judge, they're going to be free. So if you got guys running around doing things, they can actually start increasing their ability to command and control from Qatar, also paving the way for destabilizing Afghanistan further, which is what we don't want to have happen. So I don't think the president is thinking of this seriously, because this was a short-term gain. Yes, God bless Sergeant Bergdahl for being back. God bless he and his family. I'm glad he's back. With that said, there's some long-term failures here on the horizon that I don't think we thought through completely. And again, we've lost our leverage over the Taliban, the very thing that they're trying to achieve with this.
Well, and you know, this week in his speech at West Point, the president says, you know, he's so proud he's going to continue to push to close Gitmo because American values and traditions don't permit the indefinite detention of people beyond our borders. It sounds like the president wanted just to release these guys anyway and use this as an excuse.
Judge, these 5 individuals were actually covered under the authorized use of military force. They were involved in the 9/11 attacks. We had the right to try them militarily. Now, this is what I don't get. These guys had blood on their hands. They actually were involved in at least 1 CIA officer's death. A couple of these guys were involved in killing innocent civilians. We had the goods on these guys. They should have been tried. So I don't understand now why they're being released back into the wild and surely to turn back and go into combat against us.
All right. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. And now to My Open.